You think you know yourself, but your relationships reveal more than you could ever see on your own. Every argument, every moment of silence, exposes parts of you that remain hidden. We often blame others, but the truth is staring us in the face, reflected in every interaction. Why do the same conflicts keep coming up? Why do you feel the need to hide parts of yourself from those closest to you? These aren't random, they're clues to your true self, pieces of a puzzle that your relationships help you put together. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden truths in your relationships, explore how vulnerability reveals your core, and identify the ways you might unknowingly sabotage your happiness. We'll also dive into how the way you communicate can expose your deepest fears and desires. If you're ready to break free from these patterns and understand your relationships on a deeper level, keep watching. And before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights that could change your life. Your support helps us continue to bring you content that can make a real difference. The mirror effect: how relationships reflect our inner desires and fears. Relationships aren't just about love, they're mirrors reflecting your inner world. When you clash with your partner, it's not just about them, it's about you. Every reaction you have is a reflection of your insecurities and unresolved issues. This mirror effect is one of the most powerful ways relationships reveal who we truly are. Think about it. If your partner's silence makes you angry, it might not just be about them ignoring you. It could be because you fear being abandoned or overlooked, perhaps rooted in past experiences. Or, if you feel overly responsible for their happiness, you might be projecting your unmet needs onto them, seeking validation through their well-being. The mirror effect doesn't stop at negative emotions. It also highlights your strengths and desires. When you feel joy or deep connection with your partner, it's often because they're reflecting something positive within you, something you value or strive to embody. But recognizing this mirror effect is just the beginning. The real growth comes from what you do with this awareness. When you see your reactions as reflections, you can start to understand and heal those parts of yourself. Instead of reacting out of habit or fear, you can choose to respond with intention and compassion, both towards yourself and your partner. This understanding isn't just about improving your relationship, it's about personal growth. The more you understand what your relationships are showing you, the more you can grow into the person you want to be. The role of vulnerability in deepening self-awareness through relationships. Let's talk about vulnerability. It's about being open, sharing your fears, insecurities, and deepest emotions. But here's the paradox: vulnerability feels like weakness, yet it's a source of incredible strength. It's in these moments of openness that we truly discover who we are. Think about a time when you opened up about something that scared you. Maybe it was a fear of failure, a past trauma, or a deep-seated insecurity. How did your partner respond? That moment of honesty likely brought you closer and showed you something about yourself, your capacity for courage and trust. Vulnerability is like a mirror within a mirror. It not only reflects your true self back to you but also deepens your understanding of who you are. It shows you where your limits are and, more importantly, where you can grow. In a world where we're often taught to hide our weaknesses, embracing vulnerability can be revolutionary. It's a pathway to becoming the most authentic version of yourself. But vulnerability isn't just about sharing your own fears and insecurities, it's also about creating a safe space for your partner to do the same. When both people in a relationship embrace vulnerability, it transforms the dynamic. The relationship becomes a place of mutual growth and understanding, where both partners can truly be themselves. So ask yourself, when was the last time you truly allowed yourself to be vulnerable in your relationship? What did it reveal to you about who you are? Embracing vulnerability is not easy, but it's one of the most powerful ways to deepen your connection with both your partner and yourself. Self-sabotage in relationships: uncovering the hidden reasons we push love away. Now, let's talk about self-sabotage, something we all do, often without realizing it. It's when you unconsciously create obstacles in your relationships, pushing away the love and connection you crave. But why do we do this? Why do we push away the very thing we want most? The answer lies in our fears and insecurities. Often, we're afraid of getting too close because closeness makes us vulnerable. And vulnerability, as we've discussed, can feel terrifying. It's easier to keep love at arm's length than to risk being hurt or rejected. For instance, You might find yourself picking fights over small things or withdrawing emotionally just when things start to get serious. These behaviors are often defense mechanisms, ways to protect yourself from potential hurt. But ironically, these same behaviors are what cause the relationship to suffer. Another common form of self-sabotage is the fear of being truly seen. We worry that if our partner really knew us, knew our flaws, our past mistakes, our deepest fears, they wouldn't love us anymore. So, we put up walls, we hide parts of ourselves, and in doing so, we push our partner away. But here's the truth: self-sabotage is not inevitable. The first step to overcoming it is recognizing that it's happening. Start by paying attention to the patterns in your relationships. Do you notice that things start to go wrong when you're feeling particularly vulnerable? Are there moments when you feel the urge to pull away just as things are getting closer? These are clues that self-sabotage might be at play. Once you're aware of these patterns, you can start to address them. This might mean having an honest conversation with your partner about your fears, or it might mean seeking help from a therapist to work through deeper issues. The key is to be proactive rather than reactive. Instead of letting your fears control your actions, take control of your fears. Remember, self-sabotage is just a symptom of deeper fears and insecurities. By addressing those root causes, you can break free from these destructive patterns and create a relationship that's built on trust, openness, and genuine connection. It's about learning to love yourself as much as you want to love others. The role of communication in revealing our true selves. Communication is often called the backbone of any relationship, and for good reason. It's through communication that we express our thoughts, share our feelings, and connect with our partners. But here's something you might not realize: the way you communicate says a lot about who you truly are. Let's break this down. Think about how you handle conflict in your relationship. Are you the type to avoid confrontation, preferring to keep the peace even if it means bottling up your feelings? Or do you tend to be more direct, perhaps even aggressive, when something bothers you? These communication styles aren't just habits, they're reflections of your inner self. For example, if you're someone who avoids conflict, it might be because deep down, you fear rejection or disapproval. You might have learned, perhaps from early experiences, that expressing your true feelings could lead to negative consequences. On the other hand, if you're more confrontational, it could be because you're trying to assert control, perhaps out of a fear of being vulnerable or hurt. But it's not just about conflict. Even in everyday interactions, the way you communicate can reveal a lot about your needs, your fears, and your expectations. Maybe you tend to over-explain things, a sign that you're worried about being misunderstood. Or perhaps you find it hard to express your emotions, which could indicate a deeper fear of vulnerability. Recognizing these patterns is crucial because communication is not just about exchanging information, it's about connection. When you understand your own communication style and what it reveals about you, you can start to improve not just how you communicate, but also the quality of your relationships. Improving communication starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to how you talk to your partner, especially in stressful situations. Notice your tone, your body language, and the words you choose. Ask yourself what these things say about you. Are you expressing your true self, or are you holding back out of fear or habit? The good news is that communication is a skill, and like any skill, it can be improved. By becoming more aware of your communication style and making small adjustments, you can not only express yourself more clearly but also build stronger, more authentic connections with your partner. Your relationships are mirrors, showing you who you truly are. By recognizing the mirror effect, embracing vulnerability, stopping self-sabotage, and improving communication, you can transform both your relationships and yourself. Take what you've learned today and start applying it. Your relationships are key to understanding and becoming your true self. If this video spoke to you, hit that like button and subscribe for more life-changing insights. And share this with someone who needs it. They'll thank you later.